Let's take a look at, I want to do B together. So circle B. And I want to do C. Actually, not B. Sorry. Want to do C, E, and F. No. Yeah. And then G and H. The rest of those you will work on with a partner with the time we have left, okay? So I want you to go ahead and put a star by C and a star by F. Those will help you on your exit ticket, okay? All right, so let's take a look at this. Start with your 3 equal signs. And I don't want to use 32 for a common denominator on this one.
12. 8.
Okay, just a minute. What's the easiest way to figure out which number is going to work for us?
Least common. You do
Least common multiple.
factor.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
So LCM, I'm going to do it right here above. So 8 goes on top, then 4, and we'll skip count. Okay, now we're looking for the smallest number. Is there more than one up here? Yeah, 8. So when you choose a different number for your common denominator, you have to be careful. It's not just switch the 8 and 4 around inside the parentheses. So we're choosing 8. So I'll write 7/8 and 3/4. Cheney?
So 8 times 1 equals 8, so you
Good.
put 1 on this, and then 7 times 1 equals 7, so you put it as your numerator.
Good.
And then 4 times 2, and 3 times 2 equals 6.
Okay, so what's your answer on this?
1/8.
1/8. Remember, you've got one similar on your exit ticket, that if you find the LCM, you will not have to simplify. Do you think if we would have done 32, we would have had to divide by something?
Yeah.
Probably so, okay?
Yeah.
So let's skip down to E. I don't think I want to choose 60 for this one either. But before we talk about that, what do I do with this 1? Who remembers that?
You,
Michaela?
You bring it.
You put it at the beginning and then add it.
Okay, so we're going to add that 1 in. That's pretty much the easiest way to deal with it. Now, the only time you can't do that is, let's say this first fraction is smaller than the second one. But that's not the case here, is it?
No.
Okay. So now let's talk about the 60. I think 60 is too large. Cadence, what number do you think we could choose instead of 60? Should we do LCM to figure it out? So 10, 20, 30, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. We have one, don't we? Is that what you were thinking? Okay, so let's choose 30. All right, Farrah, help me out on this one. 10 times something. 10 times 3 equals 30. So 3 times 3 equals?
9.
Good. And the next one, Farrah?
What? Oh. 6 times 5 is 30, and 1 times 5 is 7.
Okay, so 9 minus 5. 4/30. So the answer will be 1 and 4/30. But there's a problem with 4/30. They're both divisible by 2. aren't they?
Yeah.
So let's simplify that.
Divide.
Yeah. I think I'm going to add another equal sign here. So that would be 1, and what's 4 divided by 2?
2.
And 30 divided by 2? 15. Not everybody knows that. So 1 and 2/15. Okay, let's look at F. It's going to help us with the second one on the exit ticket. All right, so what do I do? Is there anything I can do in my head before I start writing this down?
Subtract the 2 minus 1.
Good. Subtract the whole number. So 2 minus 1?
1.
And do you just want to leave the 1 and add it in later?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So remember, you're subtracting. Jair, what's the common denominator?
15.
Okay.
Then you add 5. Then you add 3. And that's 5 and 3.
That was unit fractions, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Those are the easiest kinds. Okay, so 5 minus 3.
2. 2 15s. 1 and 2 15.
Very good. Okay, so do you have a star beside that one? That will help you with
Yeah.
your exit ticket. Okay, so now let's look at G. G is a preview of lesson 12, which we'll start tomorrow. Okay, so this is good for us to work on. This is what I know. I have to put it on a number line because that's the directions for H. So when I have to put things on a number line, you're going to need about 5 sets of equal signs. Okay? So let's do that. Try and save room toward the bottom of the page for your number line. So maybe put that number line on there ahead of time. I might be able to make 4 sets of equal signs work. We'll give it a try. Okay? All right. So when I put it on a number line, I have to rearrange my numbers a little bit. Who remembers when we were showing addition of fractions on a number line, and we kept our last fraction out by itself and we didn't use it till the very end?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? We're going to do that again. But instead of just remembering to do that, we're actually going to put it outside of parentheses. So my problem that I'm going to start with is 5 and 6/7 minus 2. I'm going to leave that 2/3 and deal with it later. Okay? So now, put a star by that. That's your first bunny hop on the number line. Okay? The next one, I'm going to go ahead and subtract. This is what we did in our head up here. Subtract, what is it? 3 and 6/7 minus
2/3.
2/3. Put a star by that. That's your second bunny hop. And I'll help you with that in a minute. Now can we go ahead and solve this problem? Yeah, we can. We can make common denominators.
Oh yeah.
Okay? So I'm going to, what do I do with the 3?
You put on the
3 plus. And I need another one, don't I? It's just the way it's going to be. Okay, so now get your parentheses. We'll find a common denominator. What 2 fractions are we subtracting now? Jesus, what 2 fractions are we subtracting? 6/7 minus 2/3. Common denominator for 7 and 3, Cadence. 21. So So 3 plus 4 21sts
Yeah.
equals 3 and 4 21sts. Okay. So the part that we completely understand is this part right here,
Yeah.
right? The 3 at the bottom. This part up here is tricky because of the number line, okay? Don't worry about that, all right? We'll get the hang of the number line because we're going to work on it for probably 3 days. So let's start with the very first mixed number, 5 and 6/7. What whole number will I need to have as my
Six.
largest? 6. Okay, and I'm going to need a 5 because I have to show 5 and 6/7. Now look at the second star. What do you think my smallest whole number needs to be? 3. You could put 2 just to be safe, but I already know it's 3 because I've done this one before. 6/7 is almost 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's why I know that it's going to be between 3 and 4. All right, so here's the first step. Find 5 and 6/7. Well, 6/7 is almost 7/7, right?
Yeah.
So maybe about right here.
Yeah.
Don't write anything above or below it. Just put your tick mark on there. And we're subtracting 2, so we'll end up at 3 and 6/7. So about the same distance away again. Okay? This is where I'm not going to have much room to hop. So all I'm going to do here is connect my 2 tick marks. Wrong one. So connect your 2 tick marks. And you see this first star?
Yeah.
That's what I write, just what's in parentheses. 5 and 6/7 minus 2. Before we just wrote minus 2, didn't we?
Yeah.
But this tick mark is not labeled, so it's easier to just write it in the problem than write it down below. Okay? So 5 and 6/7 minus 2. Now, do you remember what I learned from my favorite math teacher online?
John Donson.
You're close.
Dwayne.
His name is Dwayne, but that's where the resemblance ends, okay? So, but thank you for remembering. So he said, hey, don't worry about figuring out how far 2/3 is. Just put the answer on there.
Yeah.
And then hop to the answer, okay? So the answer is 3 and 4 21sts. Well, half of 21 is 10 and a half. So if 10 and a half is here, where would 4 be? Like here? Okay. So go ahead and write 3 and 4 21sts down and circle it. And then just hop to the answer. Now what do I write above it? Hint, it's your second star.
Minus 2/3.
Have we written 3 and 6/7 anywhere? No. So we need to go ahead and write that. 3 and 6/7 minus 2/3. And that's it. Okay? Right, we're going to do one on the back, and then I will let you work with a partner for probably about 15 minutes or so. So let's take a look at the back. I want to do... No number line on the exit ticket. Don't stress about that. Okay, we'll do the exit ticket here in a little bit. Right now I want to do number 3 together. Because this is kind of a preview of lesson 12. Okay, I think it's Mealing or Melding has 1 1/4 liter of orange juice. She drinks 1/3 liter. How much orange juice does she have left? Let's do that part first. Okay, so write the problem down. If you drink it, are you adding or subtracting?
You're subtracting.
You're subtracting. Now, we've just been getting rid of the 1 by moving it to the front, putting a plus sign after it. But there's a problem with that right here. Look at these 2 fractions.
You break the 1 apart into.
Okay, so what's wrong with the 2 fractions, first of all?
They're
And then
not The same.
Well,
1/3 is larger than
Oh,
1/3 is larger than 1/4. I'm wanting my highlighter to work here. Yeah, that'd be great. Oh gosh. Maybe smaller. Okay, so the problem here is I can't subtract a larger number from a smaller one unless I know my negatives, right? So Cheney had an idea, hey, just use the 1. Do you agree?
Yes.
Could we just use the 1? Okay, so this time, you're right. Remember that little trick I showed you yesterday? 1 times 4 plus 1?
Yeah.
Okay, what would that be?
5.
5/4 minus 1/3. Now, we have something larger, don't we? So we can actually make this work. Now, I want to show you what it would have looked like if I would have went ahead and decomposed it and not done that little trick we learned yesterday, okay? It would have been 4/4 plus what? 1/4. Does that give us 5/4?
Yeah.
Okay. So common denominator for 4 and 3 class,
12.
12. Okay, that's the first part of the problem, isn't it? Okay, so there's almost 1 liter left. 11/12 of a liter.
Yeah.
Okay, so very close to 1 liter. Now, what would happen if her brother then, after she drinks 1/3 liter, he drinks twice as much as her? Double it. So which one are we going to double? 1/3, okay? So we have 11/12 left minus 2/3 equals. Now on this one, actually we're going to practice this tomorrow on our sprint. But will 3 divide into 12?
Yeah.
So let's just use 12, okay? And that's what we'll practice tomorrow on our sprint. So 12's the common denominator. We didn't have to do anything to figure that out except for check to see if 3 divides into it. Now you'll find out quickly enough that if you keep 12, nothing here changes, does it?
No.
It's just times 1. Clayton, 3 times what equals 12? 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. Okay? So 11 minus 8,
3.
simplify that.
Just
tell me. 1/4. 1/4. What did we divide by?
2.
No, we did not.
Oh, 3.
3. We divided by 3. Good job.